Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Merkakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. This is your brother, Darash Shemot, and I'm back with the next installment of the Ten Commandments. We're picking up at Exodus 20, verse 13. And it reads, "Thou shalt not kill." So, does this mean that the commandment was for the Israelites not to kill, or is this a misinterpretation of what the scriptures actually said? So let's look at this word kill.
Strong's H 7523, Ratzach, Ratzach.
Okay, so that's the word, and it means to murder, to slay, to kill. So doesn't murder make more sense? So if you go down here, it's a verb, to murder. That thou shalt not murder. Okay? So, let's get some precepts. So let's go look at the first murder in the Bible. Genesis chapter 4. Let's just start at verse 1. "And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. Then again she bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. In the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahweh. Abel also brought the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering." Why did Yahweh have respect unto Abel and his offering? Because Abel offered the right things. So if you read farther into the law, you'll see that there are specific things that you were supposed to offer to Yahweh. Abel did that. Cain did not do that. Cain offered fruits. Okay? Verse 5. "But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted, and if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him." He slew him. So let's see what this word slew means. Harag. To kill, to slay, to murder. Murderer, destroy. So Cain murdered Abel. Okay? So, verse 9. "And Yahweh said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth." Okay, so let's get a precept. Let's go to John, the New Testament, chapter 8, verse 48. It says, Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So, this word devil, what does it mean? It says diablos, prone to slander, slanderous, accuser falsely. Okay? So, the false accuser, a slanderer. Right? Can also be called an adversary. Okay? And so, who is the murderer from the beginning? We just read the murderer in the beginning. The murderer was who? Cain. Okay? Now, he's not saying that these people descend from Cain, because we know that Cain was wiped out in the flood. But we'll get to that. So pay attention. Cain's spirit comes back upon the earth. Now, let's go back to Genesis. Chapter 4. We stopped at 12, so let's go to 13. And Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I hide. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Okay, so a vagabond, a fugitive. Let's look at this word vagabond. To shake, waver, wander, to move to and fro. So he can't keep still. Well, let's see who else can't keep still. So let's go to the book of Habakkuk 2. In verse 25, and it says, yea, also, because he transgressed by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all peoples. So who does that sound like? Transgressed by wine, by doctrine. Okay, spreads these false philosophies around the world. He is proud. Thinks nobody could touch him. He can't be taken down. Okay? He enlarges his desire as hell. He's never satisfied. He always wants more. And is as death. Can't be satisfied. Gathereth unto him all nations. He said, come here, let's all be one people. Like, forget your laws. Forget everything, your customs. Just come be one with us. Who does that? What country is a big melting pot? America. Who runs America? Esau, Edom. Because Esau has the spirit of Cain on him. So we'll uncover that. Let's go back to verse 15. And Yahweh said unto him, wherefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any should find him and kill him. Okay, so what mark did Cain receive? So what made Cain different? What was his mark? His melanin was stripped away. That was Cain's mark. Let's go to Genesis, the 25th chapter. Because Cain came back as Esau. This is verse 21. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of peoples shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came out his brother, and his hand took on hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. Okay, so Rebecca having twins, they struggling together. The Most High lets her know there's 2 manner of people that's going to be separated from your bowels, so they're going to be different from each other. The first one, the oldest, and we know what the scripture just said, that the younger was going to be stronger than the older, and the younger would rule over the younger. The younger would rule over the oldest. Okay, so Esau came out red. Okay, so how was he red? He was red because you could see his blood through his skin, the tinge color of blood. That is the Webster 1828 dictionary definition of pale. Or if you look under white, the second definition is pale. And that definition reads as the tinge color of blood. So that's what color Esau was, and that's what color Cain got turned into. Because everybody was melanated back then. Cain was the first unmelanated person. That's why he was different. That was that mark. Everybody knew something was different about him. Okay? And so, just like Esau was different. He was different from everyone else. That's why he was described as coming out red, because everybody else came out melanated. Okay? Especially Jacob. All right? And so he put this mark on him so that whosoever killed Cain, as we read in the fourth chapter of Genesis, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. So if you apply that today to an Edomite, if you kill an Edomite, they're going to throw the book at you. But if an Edomite kills you or one of your people, they're going to get a slap on the wrist. Okay? So notice the wicked don't really get punished. And when I say the wicked, I'm speaking about Esau, Edom. They don't get punished like everybody else. Okay? And that's scripture. But we're going into, let's go to Romans chapter 12. Go down to verse 19. It says, Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith Yahweh. So, vengeance is for the Most High. So the Most High is going to get vengeance on Cain, on Esau, that same spirit. The Edomites, he is going to get the vengeance on them. So it's not us that gets the vengeance on them. He said don't touch him. Why? Because he's saving the wicked. Because the wicked was created for the day of destruction. That's what he's saving them for. Okay? He gonna handle them. They were created to be destroyed, literally. We can get that precept. Let me see. Therefore, he hath mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he harden. Thou wilt say then unto me, Why doeth he find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, Why hast thou formed me thus? So this is going into the fact that we don't have free will. The Most High created us for specific purposes, and he does what he wants with us. Okay? So you can't just be like, why you made me wicked? Why you made me righteous? Why you made me this way? He made you the way he wanted you to be made for his purposes. Verse 21, Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another to dishonor? The vessel of honor, the Israelites. Vessel of dishonor, the Edomites and the other heathens, but predominantly the Edomites. Okay? What if the Most High, willing to shew his wrath and to make his power known, endure it with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction? So what does that mean? He endureth. He's enduring the wickedness of Esau, Edom. They're fitted for destruction. Those are the vessels of wrath, because he made them so that he could take out his wrath on them. Like he literally made them to destroy them. And so that's why he said, if somebody touches Cain, then hey, I'm going to take vengeance out on you sevenfold. Even though Cain had did a crime that would be worthy of death, he'd be like, no, Cain is going to be set aside. Esau, Edom, they're going to be set aside for me, because vengeance is mine. He made them so that he could destroy them. He want to show his power in doing this. Okay? In verse 23, that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he hath afore prepared unto glory, which is talking about the Israelites. Okay? Now let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 52. Right. Then said Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish by the sword. So, it's just like saying you live by the sword, die by the sword. So, well, whose blessing is the sword? We have to go back to Genesis to get that. Okay, Genesis 27. This is Genesis 27 and 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of heaven, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword shalt thou live. So that's Esau's blessing. Esau's blessing was the sword. He's going to live by the sword. And we just basically read, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Right? So that's the whole setup for Esau. His blessing is his own destruction. We just read that. And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And they did that, and they ruling over us right now. Okay? So, Esau's blessing was the sword, and he's going to live by the sword. But let's go back to Matthew 26 and 52 and read that again. Then said Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword unto his place, for all that take the sword shall perish with the sword. But Esau's blessing is the sword, so that's all he do is use his sword. So he shall perish by that sword. Okay? Now, let's go to Genesis 9 and 6. It says, whosoever sheddeth man's blood, by man his blood shall his blood be shed. For in the image of the Most High made he man. Or in the image of the powers made he man. So, if Esau's blessing is a sword, he's using it on men. So that means the sword will get used on him. And Yahweh's going to work his power to make that happen. Okay? Let's go get one more precept, Book of Revelations 13. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. But wait, Esau's blessing is the sword. And he killed people with the sword. So That means he got to be killed with the sword. So the book is saying this in multiple places. So we know that it's going to come to pass. Esau go get this work. And it says, here is the patience and faith of the saints. What does it mean, here is the patience and faith of the saints? Remember, if you touch Cain and you go get vengeance sevenfold. And vengeance is whose? Vengeance is Yahweh's. So the saints have to be patient and wait on Yahweh to get this vengeance. He go use the Israelites, yes, but we waiting on that power from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So vengeance is his. Okay? All these scriptures is saying the same thing. It's beautiful. Now, let's go back, refresh Exodus 20 and verse 13. What does it say? It says, thou shalt not kill. All right? Look at that. That is H7523. Okay? To murder, slay, kill. All right? So it should say murder, right? Now let's go check this out. Let's go to Numbers, chapter 35. Let's read down from verse 9. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come over Jordan unto the land of Canaan, then ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killeth any person at unawares. So it means accidentally kill somebody. Okay, so he made cities for them to get away. They didn't do it on purpose. Okay, because remember, you can't murder anybody, but if you kill somebody on accident, that's different. Okay, and they shall be unto you cities for refuge from the avenger. Why? Because even if you accidentally kill somebody, their family is still going to be upset with you. They still going to want your head. Okay? That the manslayer die not until he stand before the congregation in judgment. So you have to stand on trial for that still, you know? And of these cities, which ye shall give 6 cities ye shall have for refuge. And ye shall give 3 cities on this side Jordan, and 3 cities shall ye give in the land of Canaan, which shall be cities of refuge. These cities shall be a refuge both for the children of Israel and for the stranger and for the sojourner among them, that every one that killeth any person unawares may flee thither. And if he smite him with an instrument of iron so that he die, he is a murderer, and the murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he smite him with throwing a stone whereby he may die, and he die, he is a murderer, and the murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he smite him with a hand weapon of wood, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer, and the murderer shall surely be put to death. So, I read all this just to go look at the definition of this word murderer. So, what does murder? Wait a minute. That says H7523. Wait, that's the same word that we just read in Exodus 20, when it says, thou shalt not kill. So, that's the same word. So they messed up the translation. It should say, thou shalt not murder, because there are righteous kills. Okay? Now, let's go back to Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. And it says, Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. So the Most High is a man of war. So what happens in war? People get murked in war. Let's go to Acts chapter 13, verse 22. And it reads, "And when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom he gave testimony and said, I have found David the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will." Because remember, we do the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We don't have free will. So the stuff that we do, that's what he wants us to do. Okay? And so David was a man after his own heart. So Yahweh was a man of war, and we know David was a man of war. How do we know David was a man of war? Because of the scriptures. What David did. Let's go to verse 6. "And it came to pass as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine," as he murked them, "that the women came out of all cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul has slain his thousands and David's his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, They have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they ascribe but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? So, David was murking people. Okay? So, let's look at this word, slain. Let's see what it means. Naka. To strike, smite, to slay, kill. You know what word I don't see there? I don't see murder. Because it's not there. It's a whole different Hebrew word. Okay? Now, remember, the Most High is a man of war. Okay? And let's see what instructions he gave the Israelites. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when ye come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee. So the people at the back, which is probably the weak and the sick and the old, even all that were feeble behind thee, the weak, when thou wast faint, tired, and weary. But he feared not the Most High. He feared not power. Therefore, it shall be, when Yahweh thy power had given thee rest from all thine enemies round about in the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. So he tell the Israelites to murk Amalek. And he said, don't forget it. So this has got to happen. Okay? Because he wants it to happen. Anyway, that's it for the lecture. The big takeaway from this is looking up words. That's what the elders say to do. Do it. Okay? You got to understand what these words mean. Words mean something for a reason. Okay? Sometimes in these translations, they translate stuff wrong, and you got to go back and look to see what it actually means. It reads in Exodus 20, thou shalt not kill, but if you look into it, it's saying thou shalt not murder, because there are righteous kills. And Yahweh has told people to murk people, like he just said about Amalek. Okay? So, with that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom.